basketball. Tonight, we will bestow a special honor on a past graduate, the retirement of the basketball jersey number that has only been given to 4 athletes since 1962. Just recently, the RSU2 Board of Directors have approved a procedure and protocol for the retirement of an athlete's jersey number. This requirement includes, but not limited to, being a graduate in good standing, possessing a positive public image during high school and after graduation, be a statistical leader in recognized categories, be a member of a state championship team or runner-up, be an all-star or all-state selection first or second team, and continuing to participate in sport at the college level or professional level after graduating. This honor, which requires school board approval, recognizes the body of work of an athlete and has a character component that is considered equally as important. In the history of Halldale High School, there have been only 4 athletes who have received the honor of having their jersey retired. In 1971, graduate Brad Moore, who went on to start for 4 years and has scored over 1,000 points at Colby College. David Brown, a 1974 graduate, who scored 1,250 points at Halldale in only 3 years, went on to start for 4 years, scored over 1,000 points at UMaine Farmington, had his numbers retired, and by his last game his senior year, he was leading the NCAA in scoring in the nation with a 31-point average. Caitlin Laughlin, a 2006 graduate, who was the second leading scorer in Halldale history, regardless of gender. Caitlin went on to star at UMaine Farmington, scoring over 1,600 points. Caitlin, would you please come out and sit with your retired team? And finally, Rachel Bouchard. Rachel was a 1987 graduate who was a leading scorer in Halldale history, regardless of gender, with over 1,700 points. Rachel was the Gatorade Player of the Year from Maine in 1987. She went on to star at the University of Maine at Orono, where she scored nearly 2,000 points. She was selected as the North Atlantic Conference Player of the Year 2 times, went on to play professional women's basketball in France, and was an assistant coach at UMaine. Rachel had a UMaine jersey number retired and has been elected to several Hall of Fames. Rachel, would you please come out? Our past honorees at Halldale High School went on to excel in basketball at the college level, and the individual we are honoring tonight has also had a successful body of work which has qualified her for this honor. It is my pleasure to introduce Brandon Terrell, former girls varsity coach here at Halldale, who will introduce our honoree tonight.
As soon as Carolina took the court and began stretching out around the tip-off circle, our opponents knew they were in trouble, and they were right. There's nobody who could guard Carol, and there's nobody that Carol couldn't guard. She'd blow past bigger defenders with her speed and dribble skills. She'd post up smaller defenders and bulldog them to the hoop. She'd come off the screen and have a three-pointer up and in before a defender knew where she went. She also guarded the opponent's best player, whether they were a point guard or a center. She went head-to-head against Martha Barano from Wayne Fleet in the 2012 Western Maine Final, one of the fastest guards and best shooters in the state. Carol shut her down and we won that game. The year before, in the 2011 Western Maine Final, Livermore had a 6'4", 1-inch center named Marissa Welch. We had Carolina front her and use her leaping ability to disrupt the lob entries. Carolina's 5'7". She frustrated Welch, and again, we won the game. Carolina was the best at everything on the basketball court. She was the best shooter, the best dribbler, the best rebounder, the best passer, the best screener, the best on-ball defender. We'd ask her to keep the shot sharp, she would have been best at that too. In fact, we could ask her to coach the team, she would have been best at that too. Carolina finished with 1,044 career points, good for 4th all time in Halldale High School girls basketball history. She's the only girls basketball player at Halldale to lead her team to 2 Western Maine championships and score 1,000 points. Her teams won the Class C state championship in 2011, the Western Maine championship in 11 and 12, and the NBC conference championship in 10 and 11. Carol Ann was selected for the 2012 Maine Sunday Telegram All-State Team. 2012 as one of the 12 best girls basketball players in the state. She was selected as the NBC Player of the Year in 11 and in 12, and as far as I know, the only girls player to be named back-to-back Players of the Year. Carol Ann's team won the Central Maine Board of Basketball Officials Sportsmanship Award in 2011 and the NPA Class C West Sportsmanship Award in 2012. And not only was she a standout at basketball, she was also Alldale's career-leading scorer in soccer by 24 points, even though she only played just over 3 years. She was the NBC Player of the Year, all 3 sports she played here, basketball, soccer, and soccer. She continued playing basketball at Colby College. She was named a second-team All-NESCAC player in 2015 as a junior, and a first-team All-NESCAC All-Star in 2016 as a senior. She finished her college playing career as the 9th leading scorer in Colby College women's basketball history with 1,143 points. While at Colby, Carol Ann was president of the Student Athletic Advisory Committee, had a double major in government and psychology, was a senior admissions fellow, and won the Marjorie D. Biber Award for academic ability, athletic ability, and leadership in athletics on campus. Today, she is a sales account manager at a cybersecurity company in Boston. As coaches, every once in a while, we're blessed with generational talents. Those players who can accomplish breathtaking feats on a court or field. These players we still tell stories about, like the time Carol Ann dropped 24 and the team scored 92 points on her senior night. Or the time I saw Carol Ann make 4 straight half-court shots in practice. Or how we ran the same inbounds play for 3 straight years and somehow she got open every time. And then as coaches, every once in a while, we're blessed with great leaders. These players inspire their teammates to exceed their potential, and they're special players who know how to push their teammates' buttons in a good way. And then as coaches, if we're lucky, we might get a truly rare and special player who is both the generational talent and the gifted leader. These players are the ones who get their uniforms retired. And we have 2 other remarkable players like this beside me here tonight. These players are used by coaches forever after as role models of how to combine skill and leadership, how to dominate on the field, but play the game the right way, how to instill confidence, yet stay humble. These are the players we are truly proud of, and we mark our pride by retiring their uniforms to rest forever in our trophy case. Carol Ann and her classmates are the consummate example of winners. A lot of people watch Carol Ann on the court or on the soccer field and assume she just has natural gifts. And yes, she had natural gifts, but there are plenty of people who are talented who do not become great. I saw firsthand the work she put in to become great. This is perhaps the greatest lesson any of you in here tonight can take from Carol Ann's example. It doesn't just happen. I would come up to the school in the summer to open up for summer basketball, and Carol Ann would be out on the soccer field by herself, making goals from various spots in the field. Then she'd come into the gym, take 2 basketballs, and do a complex dribbling routine, pushing herself faster and faster up and down the court. Then she'd go for a run. During basketball season, every time we had snow day, I could bet on getting a text from Carol Ann or Wendy or Christina begging me, badgering me to call the AD and get permission to practice anyway. And if I couldn't, they organized their own practice at the YMCA. So here's the lesson I want all athletes to take away from tonight's ceremony, or students or coaches of the young boys and girls up in the balcony. You don't just fall out of bed and become a great athlete. You don't just become a great athlete by wishing it so. You don't put a gold ball in the trophy case by wishing it so. You don't become great at anything in life just by wishing it were so. There's no shortcuts to greatness like Carol Ann's, just hard work. So thank you for the memories, Carol Ann. I'll always remember the blonde-haired bomber streaking down the court for a layup or pulling up from 6 feet beyond the 3-point line. I always remember your sportsmanship, how you played the game the right way. I will always use your example as a role model for future generations of athletes that I coach. And every day when I walk past the trophy case out here in the hallway, I'll smile and I'll remember your greatness. Thank you, Carolyn. Come on up to get your
Thanks, Coach T. This is on. Sorry. Thank you, Coach T. That was so nice of you. There's a lot of people I want to thank for making this possible. Start off with the board and Coach Terrell. I'll talk a little bit about him in a minute, but anyone else who had anything to do with this process, I feel really honored. True honor that my community feels I'm deserving of this, and I have so many amazing memories wearing that jersey. Probably the best one is that one up there, winning the state championship. I had no idea Rachel and Caitlin would be here tonight. It's so awesome. Two people I always looked up to at Halldale. I was up there and I was amazed. Rachel I'd heard a lot about from Brenda and how they won a state championship, and Caitlin I watched growing up my entire years playing basketball. I always wanted to be like her. She was always like my big hero, and so having that same honor as them really means a lot to me. First off, I want to really thank the Halldale community. I feel really lucky to have grown up here. It's a really special place. And playing at Colby was amazing, but there's something really special about playing in front of your town and the people you grew up with. Thank you to all the awesome coaches, parents, teachers, and for me, all the teammates who I have who turned into best friends and still are. I have many happy memories and so much pride for this community, and my time here really shaped the player I was at Colby and the person I am today. And I'll never forget how packed this gym would be here and at the Civic Center. I loved it. It was so much fun, so thank you. A big part of that community was the parents of my friends and teammates, a lot of them who are like second moms and dads to me. Many parents coached us since kindergarten and instilled in us many of the important lessons of sports, hard work, teamwork, and I think the best one is pride for the community. Brenda Buck, since I can remember, has trained my group of friends to want to bring a state championship to the community, as her group of friends did with Rachel in high school. And because of parents like Brenda and many others, we couldn't wait to run out of this locker room and play at the Civic Center. One of my favorite memories was seeing Brenda and Rich Goldman in these seats at 2:45 on game days when the game started at 7. And they were here before we got out of school, before we were even back here to warm up. So they're crazy, but we loved it. And many of those parents are here today, and many of those parents followed me through my Colby career and were there for my last game. So it means a lot to me. Thank you. And my teammates, this is probably one of the shorter thank yous I have, not because they don't deserve the longest, best thank you in the world, but like I said, many of my teammates are my best friends today, and they know how I feel about them. And any accolade I had at Halldale or at Colby, how I work in a team today is a big part due to them. Some of the happiest memories I have are with them, and will continue to be with them because of the bond we started there, so thank you. Coaches, to all of you I ever played for, thank you. I'm thankful for your hard work, your dedication, your passion for this community, and the passion you have for the success of your players on and off the court. There were so many coaches who had a huge impact on me in my sports career and in my life, starting in kindergarten. And third grade was a pretty big year too. Chip Lucas and Bob Sinclair drafted me to the all-boys Little League baseball team. And I wasn't afraid to play against anyone after that. Coaches like Coach Fuller, Coach Kaplan, Bruce Massey, I could keep going. There's so many of them. But one in particular, again, third grade, big year, O.J. Harmio. Similar to Brenda, he was my first HD travel coach. And I don't think we won a single game the first year we had a travel team, but he brought this group of girls together, and he believed in us to win, and he's still doing that today. So there's a lot of coaches, but there's three in particular I really want to thank. Three that really made me the best player and person I could be. That's Coach Guy Cousins, Coach Brandon Terrell, and Coach Kristen LaChapelle Barnett, whatever the name is now. These three were amazing, and I'm so thankful for their passion and dedication. I wouldn't be who I am today without them, and I know that Coach T put a lot of effort into making tonight possible. And it doesn't surprise me at all that he put in this kind of effort into one of his players or former players, because that's what he did as a coach. That's what Coach LaChapelle did and Coach Cousins. They just get it. My goalie coaches always told me that they wanted to have players who had that championship mentality and knew what it was like to be in a championship culture. And I think I did, mainly because of these three. I'd love to go back in time and play a few more games and practices with them as my coach. To you three, thank you so much. And to all the coaches I've ever had, thank you. And finally, most importantly, I really want to thank my family. Many of them are here tonight. I have them to thank for everything. I've been dragging my parents and my brothers around the country for sports, and they've always been there for everything. I know my mom's around. They always knew what to say after a bad game or a good game, and it's pretty much the same thing either way. My aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents have all been equally supportive. Really thankful for them, but especially for my mom, who's been my biggest supporter for sports and everything. I hope she might cry. I can count the number of games she missed on one hand, one of them being when I broke my leg. Even in college, she did whatever she could to make my games. I'm really thankful for her and my family. Johnny Wolfington told me this is going to be too long, so I should probably stop. But this is a true honor, and thank you so much.
Wolfington, sitting here somewhere. Come right up. Now, you actually, you were, a lot of times the team looks to you for offense. Tonight, I thought it was the other side. I mean, your defense on Ventrella was excellent. She got some points late, but she kind of gets them going, and you didn't let her get going. Talk about that.
She's really fast. She was going really hard tonight. It was a lot harder to defend her tonight than it was the other night. Yep.
People making fun of her off camera here. Taylor, you did a great job.
Down the floor to Moody, to Goldman, and that'll do it. Your Western Maine Class C Girls Champions, the Bulldogs of Halldale High School.
As you watch them celebrate,